In 1937, she vanished without a trace, one of the greatest aviation mysteries in history. A pioneering pilot, she was soaring through the skies, chasing the dream of becoming the first woman to fly around the world. But as her plane vanished over the vast, uncharted Pacific, questions began to surface. Was it a mechanical failure, a navigational mistake, or something far more sinister? Decades have passed, yet her fate remains a haunting puzzle, one that has captured imaginations and fueled countless theories. Could she have landed on a remote island, captured by enemy forces? Or was something far more mysterious at play? Today, we unravel the story of Amelia Earhart, her final flight, and the secrets it left behind. In 1937, Amelia Earhart, the first woman to attempt a solo round-the-world flight, disappeared somewhere over the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. She and her navigator, Fred Noonan, had been flying their twin-engine Lockheed Electra aircraft, but as they approached their destination, the tiny island of Howland, radio contact was lost, and they vanished. Since that fateful day, countless theories have emerged, everything from a crash landing on a deserted island, to encounters with enemy forces, or even the idea that she survived and lived in hiding for decades. What truly happened to Amelia Earhart remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, drawing the attention of explorers, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Join us as we dive into the clues, explore the evidence, and try to piece together the story of her final flight and the secrets that continue to elude us. Amelia Earhart, born in 1897, was an American aviator who became a global icon for her fearless approach to flight. By the early 1930s, she had already made history with numerous groundbreaking flights, including becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean in 1932. Her goal was to continue pushing boundaries. She aimed to be the first woman to circumnavigate the globe by air, an unprecedented challenge at the time. By the summer of 1937, Amelia had partnered with navigator Fred Noonan for this ambitious mission. The journey began in Miami, Florida, and their planned route was to head east across the Atlantic, then make their way through Asia and across the Pacific, eventually reaching Howland Island in the Central Pacific. The Lockheed Electra 10E aircraft, named Electra, was specially modified for the journey, equipped with advanced navigation tools, including radio communication. However, as Amelia and Fred approached Howland Island on July 2, 1937, something went terribly wrong. They lost radio contact with the ground crew. Despite numerous efforts to locate them, search planes, ships, and extensive searches, neither the aircraft nor the pilots were ever found. Throughout the years, several key figures have played critical roles in piecing together the events surrounding Amelia's disappearance. The pioneering aviator whose ambition and bravery captivated the world. Her experienced navigator, known for his navigation skills, who was with her on the final flight. The military and civilian teams who mounted extensive search efforts across thousands of miles of ocean. Over the decades, various theories have emerged. Some believe Amelia might have been captured by Japanese forces, while others speculate she landed on a remote island and survived for years. The timeline of events is striking. Fewer than 1,000 miles from reaching Howland Island, all communications suddenly ceased, and Amelia and Fred simply vanished. Despite extensive searches, no conclusive evidence of their fate has ever been found, leaving behind a mystery that has gripped people for decades. This story is more than just about a lost flight. It's about human resilience, the unknown, and the enduring search for answers. Since Amelia Earhart's disappearance, numerous pieces of evidence have been pieced together, each adding to the puzzle, but never fully solving it. From eyewitness accounts to radio transmissions, each clue provides a glimpse into what may have happened that fateful day. The last confirmed communication from Amelia Earhart came on July 2, 1937, when she transmitted to the U.S. Coast Guard ship Itasca, which was stationed near Howland Island to help guide her to a safe landing. At first, everything seemed normal, but suddenly, radio contact began to break up. Earhart was heard asking for bearings and guidance, but reports suggest that her transmissions became weaker, filled with static. Eyewitnesses aboard the Itasca recall hearing her distress calls. "We must be on you, but cannot see you. We are running on a straight line. It was clear something had gone wrong, but what exactly happened after this remains unknown. Several search planes that scoured the vast Pacific reported hearing faint SOS signals during their search, but these signals were hard to pin down. The exact location of where those signals came from is still debated. Some suggested they might have been drifting in life rafts, while others speculated they could have been sent from a distant island. However, no physical evidence tied directly to these signals has ever been found. Throughout the years, pieces of debris believed to be from Amelia's plane have surfaced, small fragments of aluminum, bolts, and other remnants matching parts of the Lockheed Electra. Some of these were discovered as far as 1,000 miles away from Howland Island. One of the most notable discoveries was in the early 1940s, part of a tire that could have belonged to the Electra, found on Nikumaroro Island, a remote atoll in the Central Pacific. However, these discoveries were inconclusive, as the exact origin of many of these fragments has remained unclear. There have been several reports over the decades from people who claim to have seen Earhart or her plane. In 1940, British colonists on Nikumaroro Island reported seeing strange markings, possibly remnants of a campfire, near the island's beaches. Some theorists suggest that Earhart may have landed there, survived for a time, and later perished due to lack of food or exposure. Others believe she may have been captured by the Japanese military, who had significant influence in the Pacific during that period. Reports of unknown female captives in Japanese-occupied islands further fueled these conspiracy theories. In 1937, after Amelia's disappearance, many claimed to have heard her voice on radio transmissions long after her plane went missing. Some listeners swore they heard a woman speaking in Japanese, asking for assistance. This led to more speculation. Was Amelia being held somewhere, or was it merely a case of mistaken identity? Yet, no definitive confirmation was ever made from these transmissions. The initial search operation was one of the largest in aviation history, involving naval ships, planes, and thousands of personnel scouring thousands of miles across the Pacific. Despite these extensive efforts, the search never yielded Amelia or Fred's remains or their aircraft. These pieces of evidence, though compelling, have never fully pointed to what happened to Amelia Earhart. Instead, they fueled decades of speculation and continued the hunt for the truth, one that seems elusive even to this day. Since Amelia Earhart's disappearance, countless theories have emerged, each trying to piece together what happened during her final flight. Some of these ideas are plausible, while others have stirred up wild imaginations. Let's explore the most prominent and debated theories. One of the most widely accepted theories is that Amelia and Fred Noonan simply ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean. This idea is supported by the evidence of radio transmissions fading, coupled with the lack of any distress signals from land or nearby islands. Many experts believe their aircraft was doomed from the start due to navigational miscalculations or unexpected weather conditions. Skeptics point out, however, that extensive searches failed to find any wreckage that could confirm this theory definitively. This is one of the more controversial theories. Some believe that Amelia and Fred were captured by Japanese forces. During the 1930s, Japan was actively expanding its influence in the Pacific, and Amelia's flight path happened to be near Japanese-held territories. Some speculators argue that Amelia may have been seen as a spy or could have been forced to land on a nearby island. Reports from fishermen and other witnesses in the following years suggest they saw a plane in Japanese-controlled areas, leading to the idea that Amelia was captured and held until her eventual death. One of the most persistent and widely discussed theories is that Amelia may have crash-landed or survived on Nikumaroro Island, an uninhabited atoll in the Central Pacific. In the 1940s, British colonists on the island reported finding signs of a possible emergency landing, pieces of a plane's wreckage, old campfires, and remains of a makeshift shelter. Some theorists suggest that after landing, Amelia and Fred attempted to survive for several days or weeks, only to succumb to dehydration, starvation, or other natural elements. However, skeptics argue that the evidence is circumstantial and leaves too much room for interpretation. Another, more tragic theory is that Amelia may have taken her own life. Some speculate that after the stress of numerous failed attempts, personal and professional pressures, and the difficulty of completing the flight, she could have chosen to end things. This theory suggests she purposefully flew her plane into the ocean. But skeptics point to the bravery and determination Amelia showed throughout her life, making it unlikely she would have given up so easily. A fringe theory that continues to attract followers is the idea that Amelia survived the crash and went into hiding. Some believe she may have changed her identity, perhaps living out her life under an alias. Sightings of a woman who resembled Amelia in various countries over the years have fueled this idea. While intriguing, skeptics argue that there's little concrete evidence to support these claims, and it seems highly unlikely that someone in such a high-profile case could live in secrecy for decades. Another theory, though less mainstream, suggests that Amelia may have been involved in a secret government mission. Some believe her flight was not just about breaking records, but part of a covert operation tied to intelligence gathering. As the world edged closer to World War II, this theory posits that she was carrying sensitive information that could have led to her capture. However, this theory lacks solid evidence and seems more speculative than others. Experts have spent decades examining the evidence, searching records, analyzing witness accounts, and piecing together what might have happened. Many aviation historians lean towards the idea that Amelia and Fred likely crashed due to fuel exhaustion, but they admit there's never enough concrete proof to fully close the case. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that the lack of definitive proof leaves room for any number of possibilities, some plausible, some far-fetched. Without concrete evidence like a crash site, remains, or first-hand accounts, the truth may remain forever elusive. Despite decades of searching, numerous theories, and countless hours of investigation, many key questions about Amelia Earhart's disappearance remain unresolved. Where is the wreckage? Extensive search efforts after her disappearance scoured thousands of miles of ocean, yet no definitive wreckage has ever been found. No plane parts, no remnants of her aircraft, have surfaced that can conclusively link back to Amelia's final flight. What happened to Fred Noonan? Fred Noonan, Amelia's navigator, was with her during the final moments of the flight. Yet, his fate is equally uncertain. Some believe he may have perished alongside Amelia, while others speculate he could have survived briefly, possibly captured by Japanese forces or stranded on an island. Why were there conflicting radio transmissions? Throughout the search, conflicting reports emerged about strange radio signals heard from the area near Howland Island. Some claimed to hear faint SOS signals, while others reported strange voices, potentially Amelia's, speaking in Japanese. But these signals never led to any concrete evidence. What happened after the plane vanished? Reports of sightings, of planes matching Amelia's description, or of strange movements on remote islands, raise more questions than answers. But each of these sightings is ambiguous, and has failed to yield definitive proof of her fate. The mystery continues to captivate people because it touches on something universal, the unknown. Amelia Earhart wasn't just an aviator, she was a symbol of freedom, adventure, and determination. Her disappearance symbolizes something bigger, an enduring quest to conquer the limits of what we know and the allure of exploring what still lies hidden in the world. For decades, millions have been drawn to this story, hoping to solve a puzzle that has challenged both logic and human ingenuity. As we explore the final moments of Amelia Earhart's flight, one thing remains clear: this mystery is far from solved. Decades of searching have only deepened the questions, leaving us with more unknowns than answers. Was it a simple crash, an act of sabotage, or something far more mysterious? The truth may still be out there, waiting to be discovered. But what do you think happened to Amelia Earhart? Was she captured, did she survive, or did something else entirely take place? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Your insight could help unravel this centuries-old mystery. If you're as fascinated by unsolved mysteries as we are, make sure to subscribe to Unsolved Mysteries for more compelling stories like this. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest episodes, where we'll dive into more unexplained events and intriguing puzzles from around the world. Join our community of mystery seekers, where together, we piece together the stories that history has left behind.